Good morning. At the very outset, thank you all for coming here on a Sunday morning to hear us. So, my previous speakers have already told you what an idle operation theater should be like and what are the how to build one, the sterilization processes and all. But how do you know that all those things are working in tandem or they are working well? And that is where OR surveillance comes. You need to check on all these systems that all the previous speakers have spoken about. So if there's a new facility that you are going to start, then you need to do this thing, cleaning and fumigation on day one, repeat it and take the OR surveillance on day two, repeat the whole process in day three, and OR surveillance on day four. So you need to do three bacteriological checks when you start a new facility. And for existing facilities, you would be doing a cleaning and fumigation in a week or on a daily basis, whatever is your schedule, and you can do the OR surveillance once or twice a month. Twice a month becomes expensive, and logistics, everybody may not have access to a microbiological lab, so once a month is also acceptable. And you should know what are the processes that are involved in whenever this kind of surveillance is done. So you need to have some sterile swabs. You also need to have liquid media. You can have a brain heart infusion or a thioglycolate broth. Now these are commercially available, and so or you can tie up with a lab in your own city. You need to have solid media like blood agar, chocolate agar, Sabro dextrose agar, and also you need to have some biomonitors. The sample collection, so you have done your fumigation overnight, you have kept the OT closed. So next day, early morning, before you start your theater, you need to go in the first hour, open the door, and then you start all the surveillance process, sample collection. And that you need to label all the sterile swabs that you take. And this sample collection can be taken by OT technician or OT nurse. It's a simple process. Or if you have an in-house micro lab, then your lab technician can do it. And you need to have a liquid media because these swabs that are taken, they need to be wet. So you dip the cotton end into the sterile liquid media. So sample collection should be taken from the walls, the air and AC ducts. It should be taken from the operating table, preferably the head end, handles of the microscope, the instrument trolley, and also you need to collect the midstream, like we collect the midstream urine, you need to do the midstream from your taps so that you know that your oro filter and all those things are also working. Now, there are different methods of doing air sampling, and one is the settle plate method, which is the most common and most convenient. You just take a solid media like a blood agar media or a Sabro dextrose agar media, open the plates, keep it on the OT table because it's roughly a meter from the ground, and you need to keep it open for 30 minutes. This is the settle plate method. There are some equipments also where you can do a air sampler. And once you get your, if there's a growth, now there would be growth, but there's a difference between having a growth and what growth is clinically significant. That is, you need to really worry about. So the simplified criteria is that if you have 10 colonies per 10 bacterial colonies per 10 centimeter of petri dish, so that's why you need to take a 10 centimeter petri dish, which is slightly larger, and so that is a critical threshold. So if you have bacterial colonies 10 or more, then you need to think that there may be some process in your sterilization or OT cleaning that's not working. For fungus, it is 1. So, but this formula that is given out there, that's not for a fungal colony. So, if you have a single fungal colony, that is significant. And if you have 10 or more bacterial colonies, that is significant. The laboratory processing is like in any micro lab. You just need to know that the blood agar and chocolate agar they are kept in aerobic or with 5% carbon dioxide and standard temperatures. Then there are chemical indicators, which already Dr. Sagar has given us this thing, that there are some which you are quite familiar with, like signal lock. So there are different classes, class 1 to 6, and it's not that class 6 is superior to class 1, because if you see in this column, each class has a specific indicator. Like this, Dr. Sagar has spoken about steam sterilization. How do you know that the steam is penetrating your load? Maybe you have stuffed, your OT technician has stuffed the sterilizer completely and the steam cannot percolate. So you need to have a Bowidic steam penetration, Bowidic, which they do it every day, and you need to know do that. So Bowidic is expensive. Normally, it's recommended that it should be done at the beginning, but the entire process is quite expensive. So you can check according to your comfort level at least twice a month. So that is how it works out. Only signal lock, if you just have a signal lock, that's not the whole thing. Cheaper than the like one step ahead of the signal lock is the Steriking, that is class 6, which will give you which indicates that your temperature has reached the proper time, has reached the proper threshold, and it has maintained the proper time. So these are available, not very expensive, and you can incorporate it so that you know that your steam sterilizers are working properly. If you have, then also you need to do, it's mandatory that you also need to have biomonitors. So biomonitors are different from steam and ethylene. And they have basically bacterial spores in it, and these bacterial spores are encased in a glass tube. And these indicator, the plastic ampules that are there, that they have to be placed deep inside your load. So you can see how our technician is putting it in between the packs, in between the loads, so that the steam has to then go through that, and then only it's going to work. So they have different incubation period, and that is there in the insert in which these indicators come from. And how do you interpret it? The moment you run it through the cycle, then you squeeze the ampule, so the spores within the glass ampule that is inside the submersed in the media, that gets crushed, and the spores are released, and then they are incubated. So if your sterilization process has been good, those spores should have been killed, and there would not be any color change. Any change, like if the temperature or pressure has not reached, then the spores would be viable, and once you incubate it, you are going to get a color change. This is also mandatory, and this is also not very expensive and can be incorporated in your day-to-day working. Already Dr. Sagar has emphasized that maintaining registers and reportings are very necessary. If you land up with any complication, if you land up with, God forbid, a cluster or something, these documentations are what is going to either make you or break you. If you don't have this document, if you have correct documentations, then this is going to be a very crucial evidence in your litigation or whatever you're landing up with. So you need to document all these things, all your loads, and these signal logs or the Sterikings, they are, and even the Bowidic strips, they can be put in files, and you maintain it like that. And if you, in a bigger institute, can have an infection control committee, which would always monitor, and simply sending the sample, getting the report and keeping it in a file, that's not the whole thing. You need to discuss with your team that whether the colony counts or these things are varying or not, and that is how where and infection control committee becomes very, very important. So the take-home message is that even if you are going to institute, like probably some of you would have gone through high-end steam sterilizers, high-end plasma, they all may be good. You may have a steel theater, but if you don't check, if you don't monitor, if you don't do active surveillance, then all these things are not going to work out. Surveillance means monitoring plus action taking. So the term, so that's why they have called it OR surveillance. So that's all. Thank you very much.